Hello, everybody. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. And yes, we're able to get the win. The Super Eagles of Nigeria were able to get the win against Benin Republic. And I think team started with a 3-4-3 formation. So at first I was wondering why we having Bruno Yemachi on the pitch at the same time as Calvin Bassey. But when I looked at it closely, I realized that it was 3-4-3 formation they were looking to use. And I think all kudos and congratulations should go to Augustin Eguavon because he's shown us that at least while it may not be perfect, but we could have a team playing, in a good way, playing effective football in a couple of days. It doesn't have to take weeks, it doesn't have to take months, because that was the excuse we got when Finidi George got into, when Finidi George was the coach. So he didn't have enough time, just a few days, a few weeks. So, but Eguavon just showed if you play players in their rightful position, you know, they would be able to deliver good football for you. Now that's one. But the second thing, but there's something I want to point out in the lineup. Lineup as a whole was a good lineup. But one thing for me wasn't as in I wasn't really into one selection, and that was Iwobi. I have no problem with Alex Iwobi, but playing him in a two-man midfield is just a waste of space because he doesn't have the energy to go box to box. Because when you're playing a 3-4-3 or 5-3-2, any sort of formation that requires two midfielders to be, to have two midfielders, they'll have to go box to box, you know, and he doesn't have that energy. And you can see in the game he was spent. And then when Bashiru came in, you could see the difference, you know. So for me, it will be three-man midfield could work, but in in a two-man midfield, not so much, in my opinion. So, what are your thoughts on the game? If you want to have a chat with me, you can click the link. It's in the chat right there. So, for me, two-man midfield, it doesn't quite work for me, in my opinion. Having Alex will be there, but all in all, a good performance, 3-0 victory, and congrats to the boys. So, Ademola Lookman, we need to say more about Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman, wonderful player, picture courtesy of Poja on X. Ademola Lookman, nominee for Player of the Year for Ballon d'Or. We know probably wouldn't win it, but he's shown why he should be on that list, in my opinion. Shown why he should be on that list. Took his two goals very well and was, part of everything good about the Super Eagles performance today, in my opinion. He played very well in that inverted left wing role. He could have even scored a third goal going around the goalkeeper, but the space was a bit too tight, in my opinion. So for me, very, very good performance from Ademola Lookman. And this should be an inspiration to a lot of players, a lot of people, because he started playing, I think he played at Charlton, and then he went to, was it Everton, Fulham, and then he went to RB Leipzig. He came back to Everton, didn't quite work out, and then he went to Atlanta, and ever since he hasn't looked back. He's played very, very well, in my opinion. So Ademola Lookman should be one of the first names on the list anytime we have an international game, a World Cup qualifier, AFCON qualifier. So what are your thoughts and opinions on Ademola Lookman, on his performance? What do you think about the performance? What do you think about Eguavo overall? Now, I know this is just the first game and no one should lose their minds over this. Do you think he has done enough to sort of put himself in position to be the substantive coach for the Super Eagles? Just think about it. For me, I don't think he's done that yet. This is just the first game. So and let's see how things go. And then for the second goal, because glad that he came on. It was none other than this man himself, Victor James Osimhen. Victor James Osimhen. He took his goal very well, and immediately you could see the pressure. You could see the difference in pressure, that he put on the Benin defense. And while Victor Boniface is a very good striker and phenomenal player, but you can see the difference between Victor Osimhen and Boniface, what he does for the team, not just in goal scoring. Like I always say, scoring goals is the number one thing, is the most important thing for a striker to do, but scoring goals. But also, when you're not scoring goals, how else do you contribute to the team? And he showed that he can put that pressure on the team. Immediately he steps on the pitch, immediately everyone, sort of sits up, and it's an inspiration to everyone else on the team, to his teammates. So I would just mention this a bit. When I was telling Chelsea fans, I was saying, sign Victor Osimhen, people were like, oh, you're saying this because you're a Nigerian, so why he's not that good? I don't rate him that he's not that a great player. His touch is heavy. One, his touch is not heavy, and he showed himself, because one thing you need your striker to do is to score goals. You don't need your striker to be fanciful, to have so many skills, flicks and tricks. While that is good, but bottom line, you must score goals. And Victor Osimhen scores goals. Victor Osimhen scores goals, and that's why you have him in the team. So brilliant performance from Victor Osimhen. I'd like to know your thoughts and opinions on the game. I want to know your comments on the game. Now back to Alex Iwobi. Now for me, Alex Iwobi, this might seem like I'm being a bit too harsh on the player. I'm not being too harsh. I'm just being honest. I'm being realistic and objective. And that's one thing you would get from me on this channel. You smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and do share it as well, the notification bell as well. That's one thing you get from me. You get someone who's objective and no ill feeling towards anybody. Alex Iwobi is a good player. Don't get me wrong. To play in the Premier League, to play in the Premier League team, you have to be a good player. But Alex Iwobi cannot play in a two-man midfield. If we playing that two-man midfield, if we want to go with 3-4-3, type formation, we should be going with Frank Onyeka and maybe Raf Onyedika, Fisayo Bashiru, and then we get this young kid that plays in Sampdoria, Akin Simero. You get him as well. He just has Nigerian nationality, so that should be easy. You invite him to the team as well. And then Chelsea player right now, Leslie Ugochukwu, steps should be made to get him to, switch nationality from France to Nigeria, because those are the people you want to play in that midfield. Because one thing people don't understand is when you're playing with a two-man midfield, the players get exhausted really quickly. As you could see, towards the end of the first half, and for some parts of the second half, you can see that the players were really tired in the middle of the park, and the Benin Republic team, kudos to them, began to pop the ball around a bit more, and have some control on the game, So I think that's the only thing I can point to that Eguavon got wrong, was that midfield. He got the formation right, in my opinion. He got the way he wanted to play right, in my opinion, with a few things that need to be tweaked, that need to be changed, with respect to how the team presses. So all in all, a very, very good performance, in my humble opinion. Now, who for you, who are the best performers? Who are the best performers for you, apart from the two goal scorers, Ademola Lookman and Victor Osimhen, that absolutely destroyed the Benin Republic defense? Because I think at some point in their minds, they were thinking they were going to go away with a draw, but they just got smashed, 3-0. So apart from these two players, Victor Osimhen and Ademola Lookman, who else do you think were the best performance, or that had some of the best performance in the team? For me, William Troost-Ekong was phenomenal in that defense. His reading of the game was exemplary, and he also, I think, because just like in Chelsea, you have when you had Thiago Silva in the defense, you could pair anyone with him and that person would look good. So just same thing, William Troost-Ekong, I think any time he's paired with anyone in the defense, that person looks good. So Semi Ajayi looked good, unlike the Amoka qualifier against the Benin Republic people. Yeah, so Zami, indeed his passes were underrated. Yeah, I think so as well. His passes were were very, very good, were decent as well. So I think for one of those roles in the middle of the pack, definitely Ndidi is one person that you would want to be there. It's just Alex Iwobi. I have some issues with in terms of he being able to play that role. So Ndidi was very, very good. So that's a good spot as well. He was very good. And then Allah Aina is another good one that puts in a good performance as well. And then Chukwueze, a player that I've criticized a lot on this channel, and he really played well. He really played well. He played well, although he didn't come up with an assist and all that, but he played well for the time that he was on the pitch. So he really played well. So kudos to him, because that's what you get here. 100% being objective and being fair to everyone. So he played well in my humble opinion. He played well. And then like I mentioned, Ademola Lookman, fine. Boniface. For me, Boniface felt or seemed a bit isolated, in my opinion. I think Boniface really thrives when you have people that are close to him. Like in Bayer Leverkusen, you would have Florian Wirtz, close to him that he can play off, that can play off him, play off the drop balls, and then he combines and gets to the box and score. So I think to get the best out of Victor Boniface, you need to get either you play a 4-2-2 with Victor Osimhen close to him, or you play maybe in the 4-3-3 you have a 10 that is very close to him that can work with him, like can flick take advantage of his flick ons, and then that can also play balls through to him. And also I think there was the passes through to him were a bit delayed, and that's why he got caught offside a couple of times. And now I have to speak about the referee. He wasn't that great in my opinion. Like the yellow card for Calvin Bassey, that was just a strange one for me. I wonder what you think about that. Let me know your thoughts and opinion in the chats. His officiating was a bit dodgy to me, because there was a yellow card that Calvin Bassey had. The ball just barely clipped his fingers. And even if you want to give a free kick for that, you want to give a foul for that, it should just be the foul, not the booking. And the ball actually came off the elbow of Mounier, the Benin Republic striker. The ball actually came off the elbow of Mounier and then flicked off the fingers of Calvin Bassey. So that shouldn't have been a yellow card for Calvin Bassey. And there are one or two decisions that I think he was too hasty to blow his whistle, in my opinion. So about this team going into the next qualifying game, do you think we should go with the same team? Do you think Boniface should still start, or you would prefer Victor Osimhen to start? I'd like to know your thoughts and opinions. You drop it in the chats right there, and we can have a discussion. And also, if you want the link, send the link is in the chat here as well. So for me, I think we can go with not the same starting lineup, but a little tweak. Victor Osimhen should start. I get why he didn't start this game. He didn't join the team as early as the others, like Victor Boniface did. But for the next game, Victor Osimhen should start. He should start. Except maybe Eguavon may be thinking, you start Victor Boniface when the opposition are be tired and ragged, then you can bring Victor Osimhen on. So what do you think about the team? What do you think about the next game? And what do you think about the coaching role as well? What do you think about Eguavon? Do you think he's done enough? Or do you think, let's say he wins the next game by the same margin, say 3-0 or 4-0 or even more, should that be enough for the NFF to say, now we're giving this job to Augustin Eguavon? So I wonder what your thoughts are on those. For me, I still feel not yet. He hasn't quite done enough. But one thing he's done, like I said earlier on in the show, is he's actually proven that you can get a team playing not superb football, but effective football in just a couple of days, because these players are top-level players. They're not players who are learning how to play football. They're top-level players You play them in their rightful position, then it's easier for them to play. Chukwueze on the left wing, Ademola on the right wing, sorry, Ademola on the left wing, Victor Boniface as a striker, and then you had the guys in the midfield. So he played people in a rightful position, and it worked. Unlike Finidi George, he came in and tried to do a bit too much. That's why it didn't work for him. So, and the same thing I've talked about with club managers as well. Like in Chelsea, when Pochettino was playing centre back, left back, I said, you playing players out of position, it's never going to work for you. It seems so simple, but it's never going to work. You're going to have a huge tax on your hands. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on the game. You can click the link in the chats and let's have a discussion here. So for me, Augustin Eguavon, well, maybe a few more games if he indeed gets the team to keep playing well, being effective, scoring lots of goals, then maybe he can be considered. So I know you're all on here. I'll just share this with you just for a minute, and this will be coming up on this. Yeah, we're back. We're back. We're back. Um, I don't I don't know if everyone's seen the link. If you're on X, I'll share the link now to the X account on the X account. That's Ugo Amadi Football. I'll just quickly go there and I'll drop it on there, and you can click the link and we can have a discussion. Come on screen, and then we can talk. So if you go on X, I've just posted the link up there. You can click on it, and you can click on it, and then you could join the chat as well. Now let me see if I can post it up on YouTube. So, are you following me on X? If you're following me on X, you'll see the link up there. It's a bit complicated to get it sent on YouTube at the minute. So, you can go on X, you click the link on there, and you'll be redirected here, and then you can have a chat. So, what do you think about the next game? And what do you think about the coaching situation as well? And that midfield position, what do you think about Ebenezer Kinsimiro being invited for the next international game? And then also, I'd like to know your thoughts on Bruno Yemachi's performance. I think he was okay today because he's one person that has missed out a lot, missed out on a lot of games. And in terms of when he's been invited, he's not been used, like during the AFCON game, AFCON tournament, he was invited but was never used. So, what are your thoughts and opinions on his performance today? I think he was okay. He was a bit decent, not too bad. So, what are your thoughts on that? And then for me, Stanley Wabali, I think, apart from for some dodgy moments, but he was okay overall because he made some very very good saves. Because at 1-0, there was a chance that I think the Benin Republic striker had, and it would have say Munye, that's his name. And if he had scored that, it would have been 1-1, and probably would have been singing a different tune at the minute. But he was good as well. I think he's really built up his form from the AFCON into this games. And then I was thinking after the AFCON, he would join an European team, at least move out of South Africa, but he's still there. His performances have been good, to be honest, but he hasn't been able to make a move. So, what do you think about him still playing in South Africa? Do you think that should be a consideration in terms of choosing who the number one is between him and Maduka Okoye? So, what are your thoughts on the goalkeeper? And then also, Semi Ajayi, what do you think about his performance today? For me, I think his performance was okay, but I still think we need more centre backs because I think why he played well today was because he was played alongside, Chus Ekong. So what happens when Chus Ekong is not available or when Chus Ekong retires? What are we going to do? We need at least two more reliable centre backs. So for me, like I said in the previous video, Caleb Okoye is one person that we need to get, in national team. Caleb Okoye and Igor Ogbu is another name as well that we need to get, in the national team. Because I think Semi Ajayi, while he had a fairly good game today, he's not 100% top of his, not 100% top class centre back on like just Ekong. So I'm looking at these two players that can add a lot of difference. What other parts of the pitch do you think we need some freshening up? We need to see some fresh faces in, So, and also while you're here, I'd like to say subscribe to the channel and help the channel grow. Let me see your comments, what you think about the channel, what you'd like to see, and there are various programmings that will be coming on this channel. And one of them, like I've showed you the trailer, is Next Gen Naija. Essentially, on that show, it will be basically featuring the next generation of Nigerian talents, that could be the next superstars for the Super Eagles. So keep your eyes ready for those shows, as well as we've got the Premier League recap show that comes up on the Tuesday, post the Premier League weekend. That sort of reviews all the big games. If you want to be part of that as well, let me know, and just follow me on X, Guamadi Football channel, and then I would also send you a link, a StreamYard link that you can click and be part of the panel, a part of discussion as well. And then we'll be having Next Gen Chelsea. That will be featuring the next generation of Chelsea players, coming out of Cobham, and keep your eyes peeled on the channel as well. So when we talk about Next Gen Naija, I'll be featuring Samuel Edozie. Samuel Edozie is a player that is of Nigerian origin, Nigerian descent, but he has one nationality and eligible to play for England and Nigeria. He's currently on loan at Anderlecht. Anderlecht, and let's see how he performs this season. But I'll be featuring him. I'll be talking about him on the show, and because for me, it's all about creating narratives and creating stories about these players and really having an objective opinion, creating a platform where Nigerian players can be talked about, And like I said, this channel is your channel. So it has my name on it, but it's your channel. Subscribe, like the channel, share it, and let's achieve great things together. So at this point, I've come to the end of today's video. But I want to ask you as well, what do you think about a predict and win competition? Predict and win competition. What do you think about that? I'm thinking of doing a predict and win competition for the next AFCON qualifier game. If you like that, let me know in the chat, and I would set it up. And at least when you predict, you could get something that you just used to do, maybe a Richard card or something that you just get something little. It might not be that big or anything, but it's something at least to make you smile. So at this point, I've come to the end of today's video. Thanks for all those who've been watching. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to at least 500, subscribers by the next game. Let's go. So this time, do have a splendid rest of your day, and see you on yet another video. Bye-bye.